Welcome back to my channel if you're new here. I'm obviously Taylor, and welcome back to navigating our 20s and trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. At the end of like every week, every month, every year, I try to reflect on things that I've learned, how I've grown, and just kind of overall successes and also challenges. And I've uncovered a lot of challenges moving forward and just trying to navigate different areas of my life. And I've realized that in our 20s, one major shift that probably most people experience is in our friendships. From the evolution of them, growing up together, going to college, maybe leaving some friends, making new ones, and then leaving college and leaving your friends again. It's just a struggle to keep up and maintain relationships while also trying to grow new ones if you move somewhere new, out of state, out of your hometown. It's just a lot. So I thought that in this episode of Navigating Our 20s, we would talk about friendships, how I deal with long distance, making new friendships. It's such a big change because one day you're living across the street from each other, seeing each other in all of your classes, or maybe you're roommates and you're living together and seeing each other 24/7. And then all of a sudden you get ripped apart and you're kind of just alone with your thoughts, alone with wanting to do things, and that's okay. I think a big thing for me about being alone is I never had an issue with it until I suddenly didn't have the option to just pick up and like call my friends like I used to. So one thing that has really helped me with being okay with being alone is finding hobbies that I enjoy that I can fill my time doing and also simultaneously might help me meet people. So for example, I joined a run club because I really like to stay active. I like being outside, and that's just something that I enjoy, and it led to meeting friends with similar interests. So I think find things that you can do alone but also have the potential to meet new friends and meet new people out of it. If you want your long distance, childhood, college, high school, any long distance relationship or friendship to work, you have to put effort into them, because if you let them go, they're gonna disappear. As someone who still has the same friends since middle school, high school, I've learned to get good at long distance friendships. It's not always easy, but it obviously is doable. Making friendships, even if you live right next to each other, like two of my best friends since middle school live 20-30 minutes subway from me, and I see them like maybe once every 3 months. It's just so hard when you get out of college, all have different jobs, different schedules, even like different friends, different hobbies. It's just so hard to find a time that works, but I think it's very important because you want to keep those relationships, you want to keep those friendships. So I think maybe like sacrificing some time somewhere in your calendar to make the time to meet up with your friends, or having a set day of each month or week where you can meet up with each other, even if you FaceTime each other because you can't see each other in person, that's fine. Set a time and stick to it, because if you don't maintain those relationships, one day you'll wake up and wish that you did. A huge question mark in my brain is, how do you meet people in your 20s, especially when you're out of college and aren't really part of specific groups or clubs or classes where you have the privilege to be around a bunch of people and you're just kind of like forced to meet and be friends. But it is not like that once you graduate college, and something I deeply struggle with is putting myself out there in uncomfortable positions to meet new people. I am like terrified of rejection or just like radio silence, so I really tried not to put myself in positions where that comes into play. But I think it's really important to get over that fear and just like push yourself outside of your comfort zone to meet friends, because you never know the types of relationships you'll meet. They could become your like lifelong best friends. So I just mentioned that I joined a run club and I joined like a walking group. I mentioned doing hobbies that you enjoy because that will attract the same type of people that you might be looking for, like they have the same interests, so there's a good chance you'll get along and find friends that way. You can also like look in your community. I know where I'm living right now, there's posters everywhere about walk clubs, run clubs, any type of club you can imagine. You can go online on social media, I'm sure where you live has like a little GroupMe meetup situation where you can find people that are doing things. If you like art, take art classes and meet people that way. Another Another way is to go out and get coffee or get dinner or drinks by yourself. I know. It sounds really scary to do that by yourself, especially getting dinner, but you never know. You could be sitting somewhere and someone walks in and they have a really cool jacket or a really cool bag, or you're just like drawn to their vibe. Strike up a conversation, ask them where they got the jacket, ask them if they come here often. Just find a little question to like casually sneak in where you can start a conversation, and then maybe it will become more. I know this advice like kind of sounds like dating, but I think you like need to date your friends first before making friends, because I know people that I met here, you like literally go on like a first date to get coffee or something with them, and it might be awkward at first, but I think anytime you first meet someone it's going to be awkward because you don't really have like common ground yet. So just get over that awkwardness. It'll be fine. It'll work out. Lastly, on meeting new friends, use social media. It is there for a reason. That DM button is there for a reason. Just send a message. Like I know I said I'm scared of rejection, but like in all reality, if they're not going to answer you to get a coffee or something, like you're most likely not going to see them around. So you might as well just take that leap and take that risk and ask. Even if you comment on their photo, like you like their outfit or something along those lines, then maybe like take it into DMs and be like, hey, really like your style, I really like blah 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 blah, would you ever want to get coffee? Simple as that. There you go. I've talked a lot about maintaining friendships, creating new ones, but I think something that we are often scared of the most is to outgrow friendships. I know sometimes in my life, and I'm sure in other people's, you know that a friendship isn't working, like you are putting in effort and it's just not there anymore, and you're like clinging on as hard as can be to keep this friendship just because you've had it in your life. It's a familiar feeling and you just kind of like don't want to let that go, but you know the friendship is either like no longer the same, you no longer have the same values or the same interests, or the effort is not reciprocated, you may not live close to each other anymore, and it just might not be a good friendship anymore. And I think it's okay, it's actually very important to remember that people are in your life for a reason. I forget the saying. I think it's actually like important to remember this quote, and I just had to look it up because I forgot it. But people are in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Not every friend has to be a lifetime friend. It could just be a college friendship, a high school friendship, a work friendship, or a friend could come in your life, rip it all apart, and teach you a lesson that you don't need that friend, or to respect your boundaries, something along those lines. It's okay to just let go of those friendships. You don't have to be rude about it. Just kind of slowly let it die. Maybe casually ghost. But no one stays the same their entire life, so it's okay to let that happen and to not shrink yourself or resist change just to appease others, because it's your life, and if that friendship is not making you happy anymore, then time to cut it, I guess. So growing older, changing schedules, changing environments, changing those around you are obviously very uncomfortable steps and ideas to even think about, but I also think it's important to remember that most good things come from getting uncomfortable and come from change. So don't hide yourself for fear of doing things alone or looking stupid, because putting yourself out there and doing exactly what you love is how you attract those in your life who also are confident enough to put themselves out there and try new things. And I'm sure that really, really good friendships and experiences and stories and life lessons will come from getting a little uncomfortable and putting yourself out there. So let me know if you have any other friendship tips or if you think you'll use any of these. And remember that we are all figuring it out. Literally, I guarantee to you, not one person knows what actually the fuck is going on. So just absorb it all while you can and learn from each little lesson and person and situation you get yourself into. Thanks for watching. Bye.